I want to talk a little bit more about polls because our favorite putting fingers Ron DeSantis, Meatball Ron, as we like to call him.
I want to point out, I posted a video on YouTube this week that was a clip of us talking about Ron DeSantis, and I titled it "The Downfall or the Downward Spiral of Ronald DeSantis," and I was just extremely proud of myself for calling him Ronald.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love it so much. Let's keep calling him Ronald.
Yeah.
So Ronald is collapsing, and it's so bad now. A poll came out that had him in third place behind Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
We had Trump at 60, Vivek at like 13%, and then we had our boy Meatball Ronald at 8%.
Yeah.
And that's just so funny to me that he's getting beat by some 20-something, 30-something-year-old guy nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
And now here he is.
And he has an enormous war chest. This also gives us an opportunity to talk about Vivek.
And that's what I wanted to do. I want to talk about Vivek.
Yeah, because we've talked about him pretty extensively behind the scenes. I think the campaign he's running is very interesting. I think kind of presents a new important directions for political campaigns to go.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to him speak, and honestly, I would recommend like getting exposure to him on podcasts or YouTube videos that are more intimate settings, like where he's in person with people, rather than if he's being interviewed on Fox or MSNBC or anything, because I truly believe that Vivek believes in the policies that he's talking about. He often has gone really deep in knowledge. He often comes to conclusions that I staunchly disagree with.
Yeah.
But the reason that he's polling so well and that he's been shooting up in the polls for a long time, I think, is because his authenticity is quite palpable.
Yeah. You hear him talk and you know that he is saying what he believes. Even if you think is wrong,
yeah,
he's saying what he truly thinks, and people appreciate that.
And I think that is like the counter swamp attitude.
Yeah.
Like I think the money behind politics is one thing, and Vivek also, like Trump, kind of seems like he can be in a different lane from the super PACs because he's rich individually and he's putting a lot of personal money into it.
Yeah.
But I think more what people are tired of is hearing these clearly contrived speeches, right, all the time, which just makes them seem like these politicians seem like they don't give a shit about what actually happens, right? And all they're doing is image management constantly. And I think it's an important thing for liberals and conservatives to take away from this new image, because it's not the Trump populism of I'll just say whatever I want. It's intelligent speaking and it's policy based, but it's also
authentic,
not constructed.
Not constructed. It's a good way. It doesn't seem like when he talks, it doesn't seem like it was sentences put together by a pollster.
Yes,
and so many politicians will just live and die by what the polls numbers tell them to say, but. No, Vivek will come on and say some whack stuff that you never thought of before, and sometimes he makes a great point. Yeah, and you're kind of like taken aback. I mean, he one thing that he's pushing for is a streamlined immigration process. Yeah, that gets high-skilled, high-value immigrants into the country, and I think that's like a great idea. I think that's so important. We have a shortage of a lot of high-skilled workers, and if he wants to be a part of a bipartisan coalition that wants to bring in high-skilled workers, I'm down, Yeah,
and he specifically said that the skilled workers that he's looking for are not just the people who are going to sit in the Silicon Valley offices. Right. It's people with skills matched to the jobs that we have. Right. Which is exactly the immigration policy that we need.
It's exactly the immigration policy that we need. He also bucks Trump on a couple of things which I find interesting. He's also pro the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Yeah. We've talked about that on the show previously. It's kind of like an economic bloc with a lot of Pacific Island nations in the United States. It was introduced by Obama, fought for Obama, and then Trump killed it when he came into the White House. I'm mixed on the TPP. I'm not totally for it. I'm not totally against it. At the time when Trump pulled out of the TPP, I was glad Trump did that. But now Vivek Ramaswamy, he's running in the Republican primary, and he wants to bring back the TPP. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. The one other thing I'll mention about him, and I mentioned this to Anthony, Vivek went on another liberal show, the David Pakman Show, and he got interviewed for like half an hour, and at the end of the show, the thing that he signed off with was saying, I think that people on both sides have gotten pretty lazy politically, in that we look for the weak arguments of the opposing side, and we like to kind of just dunk on that. These are not his exact words. I'm totally paraphrasing. But then he said, I want us to instead look for the best argument that the other side has and respond to that. And that really resonated with me, and I just want to kind of signal boost that, because I find that that is what makes everyone a more intelligent and more open-minded conversationalist and voter.
Totally. Like you always hear online the term straw man. You straw man my argument, right? You're putting up a scarecrow that's really easy to knock down.
Yep.
We need steel men, right? We want to be building like steel men of our opponents. That's really hard to take down. And then listen, if you want to take your opponent down, then it's really rewarding when you do.
Yes.
But you also learn a lot. When you fight the straw man, you learn nothing. So Vivek going on with that is a great message.
Yeah.
And he's one to watch. I mean, Democrats better watch out for him in the next 4 years, because he's not going to win the nomination this time, but 4 years from now, if he's the future of the Republican Party, Democrats are in trouble 100%.
Yeah. And I mean, personally, total opinion, I think he would absolutely take the Republican nomination in 28.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, it's not going to be Pence. It's not Ronald. So I don't know.
No.
No, Vivek is one to watch, man.